Continuing on, I didn't want to take too much of a break. Pretty much doing this back to back. It's just so I remember what's going on. And as I recall, a few important well, not as I recall, I guess I just was playing this, but a few important things are going on. We're going to introduce ourselves to an important character in the game in some form or another, and we're going to do that in a second. One small thing I want to point out, we're not playing as a thief because, quite frankly, it's pretty lame to play as a thief, at least in this game. But if you see this area right here, I'm sort of using my cursor, that's actually an area at night, even though there is always a guard out here, I believe. If you are the thief, if you sneak over and use your dagger, you can actually open up that area, and that is how the thief can actually obtain the drum of the Leopardman, which is important later on. And you can also steal a few other things there, too, I believe. So that's how the thief is able to pick up a couple bucks. Anyway, it's not all that interesting, but I thought I'd just point it out. We're not going to see that scene. I don't have thief abilities. I don't want to lose paladin points. And it's not all that interesting, but I just wanted to point that out. Anyway, let's head up over here and let's see. We have what is actually a Leopardman. Now, I've always thought that it looks kind of more of like a human head or skull sort of shape, a human skull sort of shaped head. It's supposed to be actually a Leopardman. It's supposed to be a leopard. You can sort of make out the ears and the nose, I guess, especially when it moves its head. I always thought it was kind of a golden painted man, but in any event, you cannot really talk or do too much. Sometimes Yusufu is guarding the gate, and Yusufu will talk to you about it. This fellow actually cannot speak English, so yeah, so we can't really get anything out of him. So we know the basic hello, goodbye, but and while you can't actually hear the music, there is a kind of a weird, cool theme that does play. It's kind of hard to describe. I'm trying to see if we can get Yusufu to come out and talk to us about the prisoner, but it might be too late in the day at this juncture. Yeah, okay, so he's not coming out. We're gonna have to see him another time. Now, Leopardman's in a leopard form, won't talk to us, and we can't really do anything. So what we need to do, actually, is we're getting pretty close to that fighter initiation, or the warrior initiation. So we need to do a little bit more work, definitely, in terms of working on our skills. Now, I'm gonna try to actually go to the bridge briefly, and like I said, I don't want to bore you with practice, but Uhura may come up and challenge us, and that's actually somewhat interesting. So we might try to we'll try to do that a little bit in this video. If it seems like it's going on too long, I'll pause it or something. I'm not gonna. Okay, so Uhura's not coming up, not showing up, but I think we can actually stand. Yeah, so we can actually do a decent job. And maybe because it's too late at night, I did want to show you that. And I'm trying to think what else we need to do. One of the things, I guess I was sorry I got caught in a mid-thought and sort of changed thoughts, but I'm sure you notice that happens every once in a while. So we can stay up here pretty easily and not have too many problems, but I don't want to bore you too much with practicing that. For some reason you can do acrobatics, even though that's only supposedly a thief's skill. In any event, what I was going to tell you was that he is in a Leopardman form, and we have to get him out of that form. And if you recall, we talked to another fellow back in Tarna about a dispel potion. And one thing we need, we kind of flew through it a little quickly, but I know what to do, at least just playing this a number of times beforehand, is going to what is called the Heart of the World. And we're kind of at an odd juncture right now, because that's really where you have to go. However, that's going to take some time off the clock. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause for you, and we'll pick it back up when we are at the Heart of the World, which is where we need to go. So we'll be back. Okay, folks, I fibbed. I'm sorry about that. I actually went to Uhura's hut. I was just going to pick up some information, then pass it on to you. But she actually has a lot of new things to say, so let's talk to her. And we'll use. I think she'll take up a good portion of the video. We might end up with a pool piece. Maybe I can show you a croc man or something if we have a little bit of time left over. But let's get into this. And she's telling us about the prisoner, and she's telling us how the warriors are pretty proud, and that now they can learn the secrets of Leopardman's village. The only problem is the Leopardman doesn't speak. He only snarls at us, essentially. Yeah, so he's talking like an animal, essentially. Even though he walks upright, he cannot talk, or at least doesn't want to. So, and she's giving us a hint that he has to become a man again, like I told you about the dispel potion. A secret. They don't know where to attack because they can't find the Leopardman's village, so... but she claims it's not going to stop them for long because they'll be searching the jungle, and I think many will be dying soon, she says, and it's probably a safe bet if they go off in a fight like that. And she says the jungle's not really where they want to be. They fight best when they can stand in the open. In the jungle, people can hide, and the plants can grab at them, and there's all sorts of problems. So that's not really their home turf. So in general, she sums it up: warriors are not good at fighting in the jungle. And there's a lot of dangers in the jungle, so she says the Symbani don't know too much about it, and don't really want to know too much about it. And they're a bad enemy because they have sharp claws, and they use magic. Alrighty. So that's Trey. Let's talk about the cage. It's a special cage. No magic can let him out of the cage, so the Leopardman can't use his magic to escape. And one of the things that's kind of interesting is, how do you stop a magic cage without magic, which they don't really like. So I guess I should point out my plot holes elsewhere, though, and let's continue on. Alright, the Leopardman's a magic user, and he's just a man in the shape of a leopard. But without the magic, the leopard's actually just a common man, and we've heard that before. Yusufu is the son of the Laban, and he's going to be a warrior soon, and as we've noted, we're going to go up and challenge him, actually. And the guard, it's going to be guard all the time. I guess I thought that I was going to talk about the other guard, but it's just talking about guards in general. And how's Uhura doing? Okay. And she's doing well, and she's hoping that they'll allow the Leopardmen to allow him to learn the secrets of the Leopardmen. So let's talk to Simba. He doesn't say too much, but we've got a little bit of time to kill. So he says "Mama" about Uhura, and he kind of tries to pronounce her name. Not that I do a great job of it myself. So, and he calls Rakish Raki. So he's kind of seems to know what's going on, and I think we're gonna say goodbye. And that automatically leads us out. Let's go. Well, let me go back in here, and I think I'll actually go sleep the pool piece with time permitting. Oops, I do not want that. Alright. And I'm just going to sit here. I don't know why. Probably no real reason. But one of the things I wanted to tell you before I forget is I actually played this game long ago, and probably one of the first runs I was playing as a thief character, actually, which I used to like more, but obviously this game kind of soured me on that, as you probably know. And in any event, after you steal the drum from the Laban and you sit in here, one night I had Uhura actually come in here, and she was kind of, I guess, accusing us both of what happened and noting her concern about it. But her text box was really weird, a really weird color, like black and green. And then as soon as she came in and was going to sit down or something, the whole game crashed. So I think I had a pretty original version of that, and they may not have edited it out. I think that was something that was intended to be part of the game, and they just didn't make the final cut, but they forgot to get rid of some of the coding. So I saw part of it, and then it caused the game to crash. So that's kind of interesting. And it's not in the I had the official manual or hint book at one point, and it wasn't in there. I haven't found any real reference to it online. So I think, as far as I know, I may be one of the only people who've ever seen that. That's an incredible claim to fame, but I always thought it was kind of cool, and was probably eliminated from some of the later versions. So I don't know if anyone else has seen that. Please feel free to leave a comment. If not, well, I guess you haven't seen it, but I always thought that was kind of interesting, kind of cool. I was wondering what she had to say. I wonder what would have happened if she said she's going to turn you into a Laban, or telling you to be careful, or I don't know. So that's the only other time anyone actually ever comes into that hut. Otherwise, it's just pretty much you in there sleeping if you want to. Like I said, when I played the game by myself, sometimes I kind of used this as a this hut as a second home base, and kept a lot of stuff in there when I put a little more effort into exploring and everything. But since I know how it's played now, some of the mystery is lost, and since we're doing a Let's Play, that's not going to be the case. So I just want to give you that little story, since I got to use some of the time that was left on the clock. And now we are actually getting pretty close to where we need to wrap up, so I'm not going to let it go by too much. Okay. Well, let's talk to this guy to close it out, maybe. Ask about the prisoner. They don't usually have prisoners, but he wants to find out where the Leopardman's village is. And the Leopardmen Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing Uhura was saying. So we're pretty much done on that. I'm gonna go to the pool piece, and I think I'm gonna come back here and practice. Actually, pick up some more stamina, quote unquote, stamina potions from the pool piece. Come back here, practice, and then next time we're gonna be at the heart of the world. So look forward to that, and I probably will upload that around the same time as this one, but we'll see. Anyway, take care.